Hello and welcome back to Elden Wyrm. I think it's time for another roundtable roundup. Talk to some people.
I have been waiting for your return. I've decided to leave the round table hold after all. As I mentioned, I'm off in search of the noble gold mask. We may not meet again for some time. If there's any incantations you wish to learn, now's the moment.
Not particularly. I think. Oh yeah, I already learned all your incantations, just to be sure.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
I mean, the Golden Order... I have limited respect for the Golden Order. In fact, not that much. How's Roger doing? Oh shit, Roger's dead. He does, however, give us a really fancy hat. Is this not an extremely fancy hat? Doesn't really suit us, but... Oh, Roger's letter. He left us a letter. Well. I forgot to tell you, but it seems Dee has a younger brother. I heard he lies in a deep sleep in the aqueduct beside the eternal city of Nokron. And it said he stood before the Prince of Death not far beyond that spot. Well, we do have the twinning armor. Oh well. Statue of America being Statue of America as usual. Still a hand broken off. Oh, I actually never noticed. But their statues... All the statues around here are all of a man cultivating a golden bloom. Except these two. Which are Earth Tree Knights by the looks of their helmets. The helmet crests. This table is all swords and one axe. But somebody felt the need to put a message on. And the axe points towards the throne room. Oh well. Let's see what else we have here. Via's room, unoccupied after she murdered Dee. The room where she did it, open. You, do you have anything useful to say to us?
Well, where have you been hiding? I took you for dead. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms then.
You always take me for dead and I always come back. Doesn't have anything useful to say right now. Ooh, Somber Smithing Stone 6. Yeah, Dragon Communion Seal. Yeah, I'll bump that. Kinda low on if I want to do anything useful right now, I need to sell a little bit. Let's screw it. Sell some of these. Just so we've got a little bit of budget to work with in case we want to do something here later.
Greetings. Are you here for spirit tuning?
Oh. We actually are here for spirit tuning. Probably a good idea to bump some of our... Oh, we don't have Ghost Loveboard 5. I think we have some 6, but not 5. We must have missed a Catacombs somewhere. Let's see. Could give Lutel another bump. It's expensive though. Hughes might also be interesting. Dean. Ugh. You know what? I'll decide that off camera. You have something interesting new to say.
I need to warn you about something. A little while ago, someone started lurking in the wing on the opposite side of the round table. And I can hear, from all the way over there, the howling and wailing of spirits in fear of a curse. I can even hear the repulsive twisted malice in itself. A plethora of spirits in an unceasing cacophony. I can't even imagine. How much suffering inflicted to who knows how many souls. Not even the grafting caused anything like this to happen. You should keep your distance. I you're strong, but please.
Let's go investigate. She said keep our distance, but I mean, do you think that we get anywhere in this game by keeping our distance from things that might be dangerous? Yeah, this door is open. And oh my, it's the loathsome dung eater! Hello, sir.
Have you ever felt the curse? With your whole being, the pox upon life itself, feared and despised by all. The reviled blessing. Apparently not. You are but a lamb, a stranger to defilement, ignorant of your own ignorance. You no longer interest me. I've been long without peace. Don't spoil my quietude. I asked you not to disturb me. Be thankful of the hold serenity. It is all that keeps your death and defilement at bay.
Seems like a charming fellow. Also note that he's here as a red spirit. So he's not here in person. And my, this room is untidy. He's sitting on the blood splatter. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to see him here as a red spirit. As I said, it implies that he's not actually here physically, in person. He's projecting his spirit here through some means. You have really nothing else to say to me. You have something else to say to me, right?
I asked you not to be thankful. It is all that...
No. He doesn't have anything else to say to me. Oh well. Let's go visit Gideon Ofnir again. Hello?
Journey to the capital, Leyndell. To the east of the Altus Plateau, at the foot of the Erd Tree. The Two Fingers will deny your passage no longer. You may be our best hope. Find your way to the Elden Ring.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you, however, a little bit about Rykard.
Praetor Rykard is the Lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering. Rykard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven.
What about Morgoth?
Morgoth the Grace-Given is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at the foot of the Erd Tree, in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there, until we've acquired enough great runes to repair the Elden Ring.
So, now that we're in Altus, we have Praetor Rykard, who is a shard bearer at the Volcano Manor, and somewhere in Leyndell, we can find Morgoth the Grace-Given, who is also a shard bearer. But obviously, Mount Gelmir, the entire zone is optional. That doesn't mean we're not going to do it. First, though, I guess I want more Gravewort to upgrade some more summons. And I know exactly where to get it. I'm not 100% sure it's the right variety. But I'm almost sure it's the right variety. Remember this lake? Not too far from where we fought the dragon. We never really explored this area properly. Even the Miranda flowers here are golden. Oh, hello. Ash of War, Sacred Order. Look, there's another statue pointing us to some catacombs, and here, the Perfumer's Ruins. Ah, Miranda flowers and perfumers. Probably be using the scythe for this, actually. The scythe still sacred? No, it's sharp. Good. Pluck through them. Oh dear. I see not just a perfumer here. Her casual sidestepping amuses me. Just at this range, just not enough. But over there, what we see nearby is an omen killer. Let us provoke him. Okay. Damn it, I forget they do that in threes. The interesting thing about omen killers is for some reason we never see them that often near omens. The first omen killer we encountered was in a village of Albanoryx, murdering Albanoryx. Oh, jeez. They have so much range. Those weapons are so big. Omen Killer robe, Omen Killer long gloves, Omen Killer boots. Can we learn something about the Omen Killers by examining these? Thick apron worn by in remembrance of Rollo, the progenitor of the Omen Killers and a perfumer of antiquity. So, perfumers. If you're not that familiar with Roman history, specifically, I think it's the Byzantine, Christian, Byzantine, Roman history, then you might be confused about, well, perfumers. But perfuming is a very important and sacred duty in ancient Rome, and, well, ouch! A lot of the culture of Leyndell is styled after the Byzantine Empire. Perfumer's cookbook. Hey, this bloom is unpickable. That's okay. But yeah, these stills are modeled after real-world ones used for making baptismal a baptismal fluid. I think what's called citra or something. Very interesting. Turns out the scythe is good for reaping plants. But here's the intriguing bit. Yeah. As the statue indicates. Oh. There is a catacomb here. You know what? We've done a lot of catacombs, so how about I talk a little bit about the catacombs themselves and the weird puzzle that they've presented the community and anybody who's actually paying attention to the architecture and the culture of Elden Ring. So we know that the most important aspect that these catacombs are used for currently is Erd Tree burial, where somebody is interred in the roots of the Erd Tree. I hear something. Oh, I remember this catacomb. Yeah, this is one of the rare few catacombs where we actually find very explicitly alive things. Namely, poor and unfortunate misbegotten. Misbegotten are also very interesting characters, if you ask me. But yeah. So, one thing to notice is these white torches. There's only one other place that we typically find white flame, which is deathbirds. Deathbirds attack us using white flame. But deathbirds are heretical. Oh, hello. Ah, dang it. You just clipped me. The deathbirds are not part of the Erd Tree Order. And yet there are fires all over the catacombs. Maybe it's because they're associated with death, you could say. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Also, if we're burying people, why are there cremation urns? Why are there cremation urns all over these catacombs? A lot of them smashed, and there's a lot of ash just strewn about. This ash suggests that people have been cremated. Hello there. You think you're sneaky? Yeah, you think you're very sneaky. So that doesn't make any sense. Oh. Whoops. Well. Been a while since we had one of those. Was it this one? No. Not this one. Dang, not having the messages is going to be annoying actually here. Because I think there were hidden passages in this catacomb. And that's too deep to drop. Also, hello there. There we go. Poison that omen before we meet him later. Speaking of which, dog. I do not want dog. Fat dog. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Oof! Couldn't roll in time from that. And these guys, the big misbegotten are so big and tough. chunky lads. And that Omen is still poisoned. Good, good. We're taking off a quarter of his health. When we meet him later, that will make things a lot easier. Yeah, so the mystery deepens. Oh, okay. Is this where that Omen can drop on us? Oh, hello. Yes, it is. Now, the Omens are also interesting for a whole different reason. Funnily enough, Omen and Misbegotten aren't really linked to death as much as they are linked to something else, namely life. But we find Omen and Misbegotten in places that they can seek some refuge. Because as you can see, they tend to be chained. And these Omen have all sorts of injuries on them where it looks like growths from their bodies were excised. Doesn't seem like particularly humane treatment. And we'll have to drop down there in a bit. But first, go very carefully. Look around, see if there's no more sneaky hidden ambushes from Omen. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Here we find the door. We find the door with an Erd Tree relief, and we see corpses being interred in the Erd Tree. Yeah. I'll not waffle on too much about the doors, but right now, yeah, as I said, it's still strange. We find burial urns everywhere, and there's even ash on the ground in places. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot of these guys down here. Alright. Maybe thin their numbers a little bit. The only one that's still left alive. All the rest are dead. Whoop! There we go. More Glovewort. Ghost Glovewort 5. Winged Misbegotten Ashes. Grave Glovewort 4. I think we needed some of that. This is one of the slightly more modern catacombs where we don't see many... Oh, crackling pate, apologies. We don't see many signs of the previous forms of burial. Actually, I lie. I'm standing on caskets. There's burial soil here, and stone caskets or sarcophagi. Which again, if you're doing Erd Tree burial, doesn't make sense. And the caskets... sarcophagi specifically, we find them here looking abandoned. Just like they were tossed in a heap in here. And here's another stone sarcophagus right before the chamber where the Erd Tree burial takes place. first you might think, well, maybe the developers just wanted to put a whole bunch of stuff in here that... Oh no, not you guys. You might have thought that the developers just put a whole bunch of stuff in there that is... Ow! Oh! Stuck in a corner! I'm not worried about the perfumer as much as I am worried about this guy. Oh, right. Oh! Crap. Oh! Oh! Crudsickles. I was a little bit distracted. So yeah, Erdtree Burial Chamber, corpses being buried in the roots. To be returned to the Erdtree. Implying that the Erdtree is literally, like, well, eating them. If at first you don't succeed, run like hell! Running like hell is exactly what I'll do. Shit, that's too far. Actually, that's good. Go, 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 go! I was not expecting that to work. Excuse me, I want to grab these runes. There's quite a lot of these runes. Okay. I would like to breathe rot all over you, sir. Delete half your health. And then notice that you are suddenly extremely tanky, which might be to do with the golden bubble the perfumer put on you. Because the perfumer Trisha is clearly doing a pretty good job of actually supporting her friend. Not good enough. But she certainly had good intent. Ah. And some root resin. Ah, now here's another piece of the mystery, actually, in the root resin. Let's see. Crafting materials. Root resin is another piece of this puzzle. Resin secreted from roots of the great tree can be found near trees on the surface, materially used in crafting items. The roots of the great tree were once linked to those of the Erdtree, or so they say, and it is for this reason the catacombs are built around great tree roots. Notice that the root resin talks about this being the roots of the great tree, not the Erdtree, and specifically in the description, referencing to them as separate, different trees. So, what gives? I mean, that is way too deliberate to be a mistake. It's another interesting piece of the puzzle. The catacombs have a little bit more of a complicated history than just a place people put the dead. Because it seems like there was a change in culture of how they put the dead. Hello, bird. Give me your feathers. Yay, flight pinions. Useful for crafting arrows. And there are indications that some people were burned, some people were put in sarcophagi, and some people were put in Erdtree roots. Except they weren't Erdtree roots, they're Great Tree roots, which are connected to the Erdtree. And then these ruins of the perfumer, and oh, we found the ashes of the perfumer Trisha. These are all various interesting puzzle pieces. I'll talk about in a future episode. But first, before we sign off, Perfumer Trisha. Trisha was once known as a healer who dedicated her efforts to treating Misbegotten, Omen, and all those seen as impure. When her efforts failed, she was their companion as they died, watching over them to ensure they could pass peacefully, free of pain. A tale akin to the origin of the Deathbed Companions. So yeah, the catacomb that we just went into, the Unsightly Catacombs, which notably are on the Altus Plateau very far away from the capital city. These are not that close at all. Seems kind of an out-of-the-way place to bury your dead. I literally called Unsightly Catacombs. People had very poor opinions of the Misbegotten. And this Trisha took pity on them and wanted to treat them with some level of dignity at least before their death. It's kind of almost a saintly figure, I'd say. Particularly now that we killed her, because you can't be a saint without being... Well. I have a good justification for, you know, the indiscriminate murder of things. But that'll have to wait for another episode. See you then! Bye!
Hey.